this Ankara fabric for the shirt. I've already drafted out my pattern. I have a video on how to draft this pattern. I'm going to link it in the description below. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut out my Ankara fabric. So I've already placed my pattern on the Ankara fabric, and I also folded the Ankara into two so that I can cut two pieces of the front and two pieces of the back. Since the pattern is for a long trouser, I'm going to mark where I want my shirt to be. So I want my shirt to be about 16 inches. So I'm going to mark 16 inches on the pattern and just roll a straight line to the Ankara fabric. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and cut out my fabric. I will stop cutting once I get to the 16 inches. Then I'll remove my pattern, draw a straight line on the 16 inches mark. Then I'm going to add 2 inches as folding allowance. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. Just like I did for my front pattern, I'm going to do the same to my back pattern. This is my front piece and this is what my back piece looks like. The next thing I'm going to do is to join the two pieces of the front and the two pieces of the back together. Before joining them together, I went ahead to cut out facing. I want the short to have facing, not a band. So what I did was just place an extra fabric on the short and cut out the facing. And I also went ahead to iron a stay on the facing. This part is the skirt part we'll be attaching to the front, so I've already cut it out. The length is the exact length of the short, which is 16 inches plus 2 inches folding allowance and half of an inch for sewing the facing to it. That is 16 and a half. I'll be placing my short on the skirt part. This is just to cut out the hip shape on the skirt part. This is what it looks like once I was done cutting it out. I forgot to measure the width of the skirt part. So basically, I just divided my waist by 2. That is, my waist is 28. I divided it by 2. That is 14. So that also accounts for the 1 inch folding allowance on one side and half of an inch sewing allowance on the other side. I have also cut out facing for the skirt part. I have folded a fabric that I'll be using for my strap. The length is about 23 inches. The width is 4 inches. What I did was to just fold it into 2 and also fold half of an inch by the edge. For the buckle, you can get this back buckle from the market. I actually used something from my sandal. I removed it from my sandal that I'm no more wearing. So I'm just trying to improvise here. I couldn't go to the market to get the buckle, so I'm just going to use this. So I'm just showing you how I'm going to put it inside the strap. I want the strap to be pointed, to have a pointed edge. So what I did was to just draw something like an arrow and went down by 2.5 inches. Once I'm done cutting, I'll turn it to the wrong side. I'm going to go ahead and sew it on my sewing machine. I have this extra strap already cut out. It measures about 5 inches. Then I'm going to put the strap inside the buckle. After that, I realize it's quite long. I'll be trimming it a little bit. On the skirt part, I'm going to measure about 1 inch. I'll be placing the strap that has the buckle on the 1 inch. Just watch the way I'm going to do it. I'll be showing that again. So I'm going to place it on the edge of the skirt. I'm going to stitch it up. Then remember that we're going to fold that in by 1 inch. After stitching it, I'm going to fold it by 1 inch. Once I'm done stitching the strap, that's when I'm going to bring my facing. So to sew my facing, I'll first sew it by the side where the strap is. Then I'm going to pull the facing to the 1 inch point and stitch it to my waist. This is just like how we do sew lining to a skirt or lining to a gown. You can iron out your 1 inch folding allowance or just mark it so you know that this is the point where you start sewing your facing. We'll be working on the front short next. So what I'm going to do is to mark about 2 inches. I will be placing the long strap on the 2 inches. I recorded this on a slow motion, which was a mistake. Just watch me the way I'm going to place it. I'm going to place it in a slant way. After that, I'm going to bring my back pattern. I'm going to stitch it together. Before that, this is the side where I'm going to be attaching my zip. So I'm just going to go down from my waist by about 10 inches allowance. Then I'm going to sew all the way down to my hemline. This is what the skirt part looks like once I was done attaching the facing to it. I've also gone ahead to fold the hem of the skirt part by 2 inches and the side by 1 inch. So I'm going to mark where they meet. I'll go ahead and open it up. Then on the right side, I'm going to pass a pin where they meet to on the right side. Then I'm going to fold it to make sure the points where I marked earlier meet each other. After that, I'm going to sew from that edge to the point where the pin is coming out. I'm just going to sew a straight line or a slant line. I'm going to sew it. Then once you fold it inside, you see that it just lay flat. This is what it should look like when you join those points together. This is the front and the back shots. I've gone ahead to attach the zip and also join them together by the side. The next thing I'm going to do is to just sew the facing to the waist. I'm going to attach the facing to the waist. Once I attach the facing to the waist, I'm going to top stitch the facing so that it's lay flat inside. It does not come out of the shorts when I wear it. So I'll go ahead and fix the facing on both the front and the back shorts. Once I'm done fixing the facing on the back and the front shorts, I went ahead to use hem gum on the facing. I also stitch up the hemline of the side I've joined together. On the other side, I just stitched them separately, like I stitched the front and the back separately. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place the skirt part in between the front short and the back short. I'm also going to place the skirt part in a slant way. After I'm satisfied with how the skirt part is placed, I'm going to bring the back short. I'm going to place it on it, then I'm going to stitch it up. After stitching the side of the short, I'll go ahead and stitch up the inner leg of the short too. So we are done with this project. This is what it looks like once I was done sewing the shorts. If I'm to make this for a client, I'll make it to be free because this one was so tight for me, but it is still okay. It fits perfectly well. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.